Hi, I wanted to touch base with you today to share a few more things about the bija mantra. I hope you've enjoyed the practice, if you gave it a go yesterday. Now, in the instructions I did say you can chant for about 10 times. The thing with counting is that it takes you out of the moment. So I think what I might suggest is that you set a timer instead. And chant for as long as you want to, you know, whether you set the timer for 3 minutes or 5 minutes or even 10 minutes, or use the guided meditation where I've left a chunk of time for you to do the chant. I think I timed it where I think 10 rounds will take around 2.5 minutes. So again, the number is not really that important, and so rather than not being fully present in the practice as you sort of mentally try to keep track of how many times you've done it, I'd invite you to let that go and just let the timer track how long you want to continue the practice for. Now, as I mentioned in the email, you can chant out loud or you can chant silently, and the more subtle the form, the more powerful it is. Having said that, chanting out loud still has an enormous effect, and personally I love chanting out loud and hearing the vibration. So I will often do one round out loud and then chanting one round silently in my head, and then allow myself time to immerse in that silence as well, and remembering that is probably the most important part, being at the most subtle level where you can connect with higher consciousness. The other thing I noticed as well was that throughout the day yesterday I would connect randomly with the base chakra, but more so with the bija mantra. And so whether you're sitting in traffic, you're waiting in line for something, you're on public transport, you're gardening, running, walking, whatever it is, or cooking, if you find yourself drawn to chanting throughout the day, please feel free to do so. While you may not be able to incorporate the silence after the chant, especially if you're driving, as long as you have one formal practice a day, that's still okay. When we're chanting, we're resonating with the vibration at the energy center, and we're sort of activating it so that it does its thing, whether it's purification or rejuvenation, whatever it is that will help us meet the intention that we've set for this healing journey that we're on. And the last thing is that last night as I was driving home, I saw the beautiful Venus up in the sky. So for the next 20 days or so, Venus will still appear as an evening star. So if you get a chance to be out there and connect with its energy, it's quite beautiful. It's the brightest star that you can see, so you shouldn't miss it. After the 20 days, it's going to dip below the horizon before rising again as a morning star. So if you want to catch a glimpse of Venus as an evening star, you've still got a couple of weeks to do that. So I hope you continue to enjoy this practice, and remembering as we're working through the chakras, it's less about intellectually figuring out or solving something. A part of spiritual growth is not so much in the what do we need to do, but allowing ourselves to be with it. So when we activate the chakra, it has its own intelligence, and it knows what it is that you need from this experience. So while there are elements where you might go into self-contemplation, the healing part will come as a consequence of the intention that you've set. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out. I will catch you again soon.